Hello everyone, this is Guna from Quarkcube, and now I'm going to take you through the tool called Quark Seeds. This is our one product, and then this helps you to do a lot of analysis. And then I would say this is like it's a data model analytics simplified. Okay, so that's how we build this tool, and this is going to help in the many form of data analytics. So let me walk you through these seeds and then help you in understanding how we can use this tool. So this is the Excel add-on, and where you can install it in your Excel and then you can perform the analytics. So this tool has multiple features. For example, it's a credentials. So these credentials you will be getting it from us, and then once you receive it, you will be able to use the client ID and as well as the client secret to connect to the server for the analytics. And we have the client attribute. So each and every details like of these features we will be going in the live when I walk you through the in the Excel add-on. Okay. So and also we have another place where you can enter or search the models, and there are some other icons here which helps you to perform some operations. So this is like running the model, and then you have like whatever you have in the Excel sheet, you can use this icon to clear it. And then there is a run model that I will explain how you can run it and clear whatever there in the model. And also it's a write back. You have the save, delete, refresh, and also the load model, right? So these are the different set of features available in this tool. And let me walk you through this in details, like how you can open it, how you can create a simple model, and then how you can do the analysis and how you can get the outcome, and whatever the other features of this tool, how it can be helpful for you. Let me just open an Excel sheet. Let me just go and create a new open sheet. So this is my open sheet. Let me store as demo underscore Quark Seeds. Right? So demo underscore QS. This is a sheet model name. So now I don't have anything here. So if you see, once you add the add-on, and this will be shown here. So let me just click here. So and also this generates a file here. So that see, I can enter my client ID secret here, or if I enter it here, whenever I log in, by default it will be picked up from here. So for now, let me just copy it from my previous run and then get my client ID. So as I explained you, this you will get it from the we will be providing all the informations now. So okay, so let me just relaunch this Quarkcube. Yes, I got the same thing. Let me just connect it. Yeah, it connected, and I'm able to view multiple features, whatever I have shown you here, right? Let me take down so that you can view it, everything it here. So this is how I'm able to log in now. So I don't have anything now. Say how we can use this tool to generate the models and then do the analytics. Okay, so let me create some kind of a model. So for example, let us use the student one. So I have some old model I will copy, and then say for example student list I need individually. I have some marks of individual students, and also I have some kind of details about the students. So I'm going to create like 3 Excel sheets with some details. So for now, let me just use whatever I have created earlier. So it will be very easy for me to. So let me just take, these are all the students' name. I have taken that as the student's name. So under the student list, so I have a student ID and then student name under the student list. And then let me just copy whatever the marks. So these are just an example. So we are just using it here. so that you can, I can quickly show the demo. Otherwise we can just type and then we can create it and just store it. And then same the details. What is there in the details? Okay, so just I have created some kind of a sample data, right? So we have a student list where I have the student ID and student name, and I have the marks, and I have student ID and all other like physics, chemistry, biology, maths, English, and socials. And also I have some details about the gender, their class, and their city. So I have three different the details here, and for every details there is a one common thing I have kept here is a student ID. So with the student ID I can get their details, I can get their marks, I can get other details, right? So this is how we will be able to generate the models, and then we will do some kind of analysis. I will show you how we can use this tool to do step by step analysis, right? So now I have the models, right? So this is in the Excel sheet, right? So I want to convert this as a data model. So it will be a very simple way. So let me just go to student list and let me just give a name, right? So I said demo underscore QS, demo underscore QS underscore, I would say list. Let me just store this right back. So as I told you, we have multiple operations. This is to run, this is to save, this is to delete, refresh, load the model, and I'm using a write data, which means whatever there in the Excel, this particular sheet will be stored as a data model. So let me use this demo underscore QS list. Yes, this is saved. So how do I can see it? So I just opened a new one. So for example, let me just put this sheet as output. Let me see what is there in the demo queue list, right? So I'm just running the model. So whatever I have stored, I could view it. So I have stored the student list. And then next I want to store the model. So same way list, sorry, I want to store this as a model, marks, same operations, isn't it? Stored. So let me just see whether it's stored or not. This is a button, we can use it to clear this Excel sheet. So let me just run this. Yeah, so marks also get stored. And the next one is the details. Let me write back. Done. So go to the output, clear off the sheet, just paste it. So now I have all these models. So let us see whether all these models are created or not. So the same thing, I can go here, I can do a search. So I have the details, I have the list, I have the marks. So all these three sheets has been converted as a data model. We don't need these sheets anymore here because all these are converted, but just for our reference, we will keep it here. Okay, so I have entered the name and I have used the write back option here. And so far I have used this tool, and also I have used this to clear off whatever reason. Say for example, if I click this, it will just clear off the entire sheets. Wherever the sheet, say if I create, say for example, just put a test, and if I run it, it will clear off here. So this is how I will be used. And then there is another clear the model. So which means whatever we are showing here. So we may have multiple things here, right? And then if you run this, it will be clear. Say for example, it will gone. It will just take off whatever there in the model attributes. If you have created any rules, so everything will be cleared when we use this icon. So this is a clearing the model. This is clearing the sheet. So now we have cleared all the sheets, right? Say demo underscore QS. We have three models created. So what is that we can do with these models? Let us see. Let me take a model attributes. So I am on, let me go to the output because there is no data, or sheet 5 is also the sheet which we have created now. So demo underscore QS. Let me take the list. What is there in the list? Here also I can do the same. So I have the student ID and the student name. So I want to see only the student ID. So this is a column name list which you can easily control it. So for example, let me just copy paste here. So what is it I can do, right? So this is a tool I can run it. So let me clear everything and then run the model. So I have taken the QS list as a source model and I have put column name as a student ID. So I can see only the student ID. Okay, I want to see the student name. Run it. Okay, so this is how I can get all the details here. And this is a column name list. Whatever you want to do in this sheet, you can just enter it here so that it will be visible it here, right? So what is the next one? It's a rule filter. So I want to easily filter out the data based on my requirement. Say I want to just filter out, say for example, wherever I want to say student ID, I want to see only the student ID equal to 1004. I don't want any other details to be shown here. So just I will put as a free rule filter and then I will run it. I will see only the one detail. Say the same thing if I put, no, except this 1104, I want to see all the things. I just put as an RT filter and I could see everything, right? So we can use the pre-filter to filter out the unwanted data for us. And then we will have only the required data for us. So this is how we can use a pre-filter. And then next one is the sort order. So this is sort order which we can use it. Say for example, I want to sort, currently it is sorted based on the student ID. I want to sort based on the student name. Yeah, it is possible. Just put the sort order as a student name and then run the tool. Yeah, it is done. Yes. So we don't need for our test. This is how we can use the pre-filter as well as the sort order. And you can run n number of times. That is the beauty of this tool. Okay, so we have seen column name list where you can display the column and then rule filter. You can filter out the data what you want and then it's a order. Sort order will be useful for you to just showcase how the data needs to be stored, right? And the next one is the rule attribute. So this is another interesting part where this helps. Say for example, with this rule attributes, you should be able to generate n number of synthetic data. It's a huge number of synthetics data, right? So for example, the healthcare industries where patient's name cannot be shared, and same way like credit card information where the credit card number cannot be shared, but you want to do some kind of analysis. Say for example, you want to analyze some kind of medical data, but you are not authorized to get the real data, but you need to generate say lakhs of data, thousands of data to regenerate that same one, right? So they will say 3% is failure among 1 lakh data, right? So those kind of simulations you can easily figure out. That I will cover it in a separate session. For now, we will work on whatever the available data, which means we have just entered in the Excel, we have stored as a model, we are going to do some kind of operations here, right? So the dimensions, right? So dimensions can be, it's a model. So model has a dimensions. Model is built with the dimensions. So if I would say if you take any formula, say f of x equal to y, right? So f is the model and x is the dimension and y is the your measure. So what you are going to measure it. It is kind of the same process it will be used here. So I'm just copying. I have two dimensions, which is two columns here, and I don't have any measures. So I will put temp as my measure, right? And then if I run, I will get an error, right? So let me put temp and initial, I will put 0 as the temp value. So let me run it. We should get an error now. We didn't get any value. So let me say, and also we don't have any temp. So why? Because we have not stored it in the name list, column name list. So let me just see it here. Okay. So clear and run it. Yes, we got the error because we have we want to show the temp and we have defined the temp as a measures, but we have not put any rules for the temp. That's the reason we are getting the error. So let me put temp as I told you. So now temp is one is a measure which I want to get some value. So how I can bring the values here? This is a temp and I have two dimensions. So I want for any and any, which means for any student ID or any student's name, please put 1, 2, 3. Let me run it now. So what happened here? So I have the student ID, I have the student's name, and the temp I got put 1, 2, 3 because this is how I have set the rule. And this model is generated with that value, right? So here you can play a lot. So for example, I don't want to put 123 for everyone. I want to put only for, say, for example, Sam. Just put it because the student name is the second attribute. I have put Sam. Let me just run it. So you see, only Sam got 123, right? So let me say, for example, rather than Sam, I will put any. So for everyone, I can say, what is that? Say 1005. So only 1005 got that value. So we can play around it to generate the data, the data we want. So now everyone got the 123. So here it controls whatever the dimensions you want to control. Yes, you can control it here. And also on the other side, you can put whatever the conditions you want. Say for example, case when I would say student ID equal to 1006, then make it as 200, else it as 123, and then put end, right? So I can write my own comment here. So column not allowed here. So what is a mistake I have done? So case when student ID. So here I have to put as a current value of, this is all the syntax which we have to follow it. So current value of student ID is equal to 100, then 2000 else 123. So now you see that, right? So only for 1006, the 200 came. Rest has been the default value. So I can write n number of conditions and the rule in the rules based on the SQL statements, and then I should be able to generate the data for the analysis. So we are just preparing the data now, and this is how we can use the dimensions. Say for example, as I told you, right? So here I have two dimensions. No, I don't want to use the student here, student name, but I just want to put a student ID only. So what I can do here is I can just move this to the Quarks so that it will not have any impact. So it will give you the same outcome, right? But if you want to do add any extra new dimensions with multiple rows, yes, it is possible. And if you want to duplicate the same line, yes, it is possible. So all the data manipulations can be done using these rules, which will be helpful for us to generate the data and work with the data. So this is like one set of things which I will explain in upcoming sessions also. So now we have understood like how we can use these features to play around it, right? So now let me just clear off everything. Let me go back from step one. So now what we can do is now we have three models, right? So demo underscore QS. So now we have three models, and I want to combine all these three models as a one table so that I can generate whatever the reports I want. Say for example, in this report, I want to view the total marks or the total cutoff marks for engineering or medical for a particular city or for a particular section, say for a particular class or particular gender law. So how do I can generate those analytics, right? So that's what we are going to see it here. So here I have taken the list as my base model. So this is my base model. I'm just say, for example, I want to look at all the columns. So I'm just putting star, or if I want to view only few columns, yes, I can put only one or whatever the columns I want. And then if you run the tool, it will just generate it. So I have cleared everything and I'm just going to run this base model. So it generated the base model. And I can, if I want to apply pre-rule filter or a sort order, yes, I can do it here. And also, if you want to work with this model, yes, as I explained, like you can create dimension, measures, and rules. So these are all the options it is available. And then let me go to the reference now. So because now we have three models, and I want to refer the other two models to bring everything together as a one model. How to do that? Let me take this. So here we have a model name, we have dimension, and we have the measures. So in the model name one, what is that model name we can provide? So we have set demo underscore QS underscore marks as a model one. And what is the common dimensions, right? Student ID is a common for everything. And what are the measures? So here on the marks, we have multiple measures. Each subject is a measure for us. So physics, comma, chemistry, comma, biology, max, engineering, social. So I have added it. So we have another model that is demo underscore QS underscore. I think it is details. And then here also I have to put the student ID. And then what are the other details we have in that model? We have gender, class, and city. So those are all the measures. Okay. So let me go to the output. So now I'm going to just clear everything, run it. Now nothing you will see because we have not done any operation. We have just put the reference 1 and then reference 2, and then we have stored the model, right? So this is how we can use the reference, and we have up to 5 reference models. You can refer it here, and please make sure the dimension is common for all the models what you are referring it. And let me go to the advanced analytics. So we have the option called reference spread. So which means it will refer everything and then it will put it here. So now I want to say, so what are the models I'm going to refer? So one is the QS details. And then another one is the marks. So these two references I want to do. And then I want to say, for example, I want to do the left join. And here, for example, I would say how to define the base model, right? So I have the base model as the one which has student underscore ID. Let me run it. I'm getting student ID. So base dot student underscore name. So I will get the student name. So now this is coming from the base model. Now I have two reference models, right? So I can easily pull the models, the details. So I'm just putting the model name dot. I will put, say, for example, class. Just run it. Class has come. Dot gender. Gender has come. Now dot city. Wow. So we got all this from the details model. Now I also want the marks. So what is that I can do here? I can do the marks dot physics. Yes, I got it. Dot chemistry dot mathematics dot social. Right? So physics, chemistry, math, social. So whatever other marks we have, physics, chemistry, biology. Any other marks left? Yeah, here we have it in English as well. So now I have combined all these three models as a single model, right? So I can easily store this model as a new model. Demo underscore QS underscore model number 1. Or I would say QS underscore base model. Okay. So this is a model where I have combined all these three models as a single model. So how to do that? I can just save the data. Model saved successfully. So now, if you look at right, I have cleared everything, right? Let me just pull the data. Demo underscore QS base. Right? So this is the. So now, if you look at right, whatever we have written, everything we have erased it. Now I want to load everything. Right? So if I load, then you can see it here, right? Whatever I have done, it is stored here. So demo list, and then I have all the models, student ID, and then I have combined everything. So if you run it, you will be able to get all these details. Okay. So which means now all the data is everything has been stored as a model. All the operations are also stored so far. So this is one of the manual way where we can from the Excel sheet where we can create the data models and then store it in the database. Now we have I will show you one of the other method. It's the easiest way how we can store the same model in a different way, right? So if you look at remember everything I have written here and then saved it or I have written the write back option to do that. The same operations we can quickly do it is there is an option called model actions. So if you look at right, there is a model action sheet. So with the action sheet, we can perform the same operation. Let me just quickly show you how I can do it. Okay, so just put some number and action result. So I don't need to do anything. Model type, I would say for example, first I will just delete everything and then I will just create the model. Okay, so I will just, for example, I have 3 models, right? So let me just use only 3 pages. So I'm just using only the 3 models. So quickly do this. Is executable? Yes, I want to execute everything. All 6 models I have to. So first I have to delete which name. What is that sheet name? I don't need. What is it model name? I have to give here. This is a model type. Okay, so it's a user model, and model name is, say, for example, demo underscore QS1. Let me just put as a QS1 underscore. What is that one? I'm going to say list. This is a model I want to delete it, and then this is a model I want to create, and this is also a user model. Here the sheet name I have to mention here is whatever that student name. So so I'm deleting it and then I'm doing a write back. Say whatever I have done manually. So write back sheet to model. Okay. So delete and then write back sheet to the delete the model from the database and then use the write back option and then refer the sheet list and store whatever the data available in the sheet list as a model. Okay, so this is the one. Same way I can easily quickly copy paste same for other 2 sheets. So all our user models, only the sheet name it comes. So this is a delete and then write back, delete, write back. So then this is write back from the marks. And then this is write back from the details. So and also for the marks, I have to say Q1 underscore marks, delete and then create. Same way, details, details, delete and then create. So I have what I'm doing here is I'm just allowing the system to delete the model in the database and create the data model using this sheet name. Whatever the data available here, it will store. Same way marks, it will use the marks sheet to store it. Same way details, it will be stored as a details. So let us see how it can be helpful for us. So what I'm going to do here is so far we have the option called to run the model. Okay, so I'm just running the model. You could see, so it puts the details. So it's deleted and then successfully completed. Let me just go to the output, clear off everything. Let me say Q demo underscore QS1. So I have, you can see the same models are created here, right? So if I set a details, yes, all the details comes. If you look at list, so all the list comes. So whatever we have done manually, we have automated it through the model action. So all these models are stored, but only thing now we have stored it as a QS1. So this is how I have stored it here, right? So the same operations, say for example, we have done one operations into the QS model base. So we have done the operation. So I'm just loading this model here. Let us replicate the same thing here, right? So what I have to do it first step, I have to delete QS underscore. Let me put that as a, what is that model name I have put? A base. So I'm going to delete the QSN base model. So far I have not created, but I'm just deleting it. So then next one is I'm going to create the new model. Is yes. Is a user model? Yes. I am not going to mention any seats here because this is not a seat. And then what is that name I'm going to do? Give QS1 base. And then what are the other options? Do I have a source model? Yes. Demo QS list. So here QS1 list. So let me just put this as a list. And then what else I have? I want all the columns. So let me just put the star. And I have not done any pre-filter or post filter in this one. So and also I have not done anything here. So I'm not just leaving it. But I have put a reference model here. So come to the reference model. So this is a reference model, but I have to use QS1 marks and then student ID, and then whatever the method I have given, I will just use it here. Okay, and then reference model 2, QS2 details, student ID, same gender, class, city. So I have used this reference 2 model, but I don't have any reference 3 or reference 4 or reference 5 model, right? So now let me come to the rule. I have not done anything advanced type. So what we have done, we have selected a reference spread. So here it is a reference join. So advanced type 1. So I will just, so this is how I have enter as whatever the rows I need. So I will just copy and then paste here. So here one thing I have to do is I have to make the change of, because we have made as everything as a Q1, QS1. See here what we are doing is we are just replicating the same thing what we have done manually, but only thing is here I'm going to run as a model. So and then I have store it, and then whatever the reference model name I have to give, yes. So here also I have to put one QS1, yes, I have done. Then here we have it. Okay, so anything else we have done? No. So I have done everything. Now let me just run and see what it's. See, I have created all these models. If I want, I don't need to rerun again. Okay, so if I just say no here, so these models will not get, but for just now, I will just leave one model. So let us see how it works. So this is a model run operations, right? So now you will see wherever I put S, it is getting executed. So this is also getting executed. So let us see what was there in the other QS base, and then QS1 base has become same, right? Let me go here, clear off QS1 base. Tabular view does not exist. So there is some mistake we have done on the model action. So let us see what we have done it here. Okay, details. So I think everywhere I have put only QS1. So only one place I have put the QS2. So let us see what will happen now. Let us run. So now I got the same result. So one is manually I have done. Now I have made it as a model action. So this is the easiest way. Once if I store, I don't need to rerun everything again and again. But once if I create this model list, I can view everything in one sheet. Like what are the models I have created, what are all the operations I have done, what are the rules I have written, what are all the the options I have select. Everything we can is visible in one single sheet. Okay, so now I have created the data, right? So now what else I can do with this data? So if you look at this demo QS base one, this is just a base model, and please note that we have not done any change, right? Let me just clear off. Now I'm going to take this model as my source model. Okay, so just cross check whether everything has the data. Yes, my source model has a complete data, and I can control the model name list. As I told you, like I can now I need everything. So student ID, student name, class, gender, city, physics, chemistry, math, social, biology, and then English. So these are all the columns I need. So now if I run this model, so all these columns, as I told you earlier, I can, if I don't want to say English, I can just remove, I just remove it here, and then that column will not be displayed here. If I need it, I can just put as a English, right? So this is how, I mean, this is just a recap of what we have discussed in the earlier days. So now I have the combined model. So what operations I can do here, right? Before doing anything, I would always the best practice to define. So column list I have defined. Same way I have to define what is the dimensions and what are the measures. So I can define all the subject marks as the measures, and then all other things as a dimensions, right? Say student ID, student name, class, gender, city. So everything I have defined. Specifically, I'm just defining this because all our next operations will be very smooth. So let us see. I'm not going to do anything here. I'm just defining the structure. Same thing I can do it here, right? So let us take, so first I have to do is a delete. Yes, it's a user model. And I want to say, for example, QS underscore base. From base, I'm creating the first version. So let me just take the same one. Sorry. Rather than delete, I'm going to create. So QS1, I'm creating the QS1 model, and my base is my reference here, and my column list, whatever I have defined here. And I don't have anything on the quarks, but I have some dimensions. Then I have measures. Yes, I think that's it. Rules. Okay. So now let us run this and see whether this QS1 underscore 1 is getting generated. So I don't need to rerun each and everything here, right? Because all these are already stored. Let me just run only these two things. And let us see how it comes. I should get the same outcome. So cleared everything. Just, yeah. So there you go. So now I have created another model, and specifically I put the structure of the dimension and measures there. So now what is that I can do here, right? So I can say, for example, now the Q1 model is created. Let me take the same columns, and how easy for us to do any calculations, right? Say, for example, I want to calculate the cutoff or the total of physics, chemistry, and maths as for engineering, right? So I will say physics plus chemistry plus maths as engineering, and also physics plus chemistry plus biology and medical. So I will just say that, right? It's a simple step. Sorry, I think there is some name mismatch here. So what I have to do here is English and engineering is configuring. So let me just put only EG. For safer side, let us put the so I got the engineering as well as the medical total marks. So I can just play around this. Say for example, here I want to say, oh no, I just want to please, I want to say physics as say temporary, right? So I can just say physics as temporary. So all the physics mark will be coming here as a temp, right? So we can do multiple operations using this thing. Just put that as an example, and you can do several operations because we have defined the dimensions and measures. It will be easy for us to do it in the next steps. That's the reason I created as a reference this first model, and I'm just trying to do as a second model. And again, as I explained, I can put a free rule, we can put a sort filter order, and now say for example, now okay, now I have the calculation of medical and as well as the engineering. I think I have removed the temp. So I will get only this one. Now I want to is how I can check. Okay, what is that city based or gender based or class based, right? It is a simple. I'm not going to write any rule here. And the reference we have seen, and also analysis, we have used the reference spread, and it has multiple things, right? So it has a flattened hierarchy, time series, polynomial curve fitting, summarize. So other things are all advanced ones, so that we will cover it in the later stage. So now earlier we used a flattened hierarchy. Now I'm going to use a summary. So what is that summarize column? It's in what basis I have to sum. I want this based on the city. And what is that I'm going to do? I'm going to do sum of EG of engineering as engineering. Or let us put a small word for same EG. Okay, so that it will be easy for us to refer. And also I want the, let us see it later. Okay, so I don't need to do any other operation. So let me just clear off, run it. So all the city based it has taken the engineering. Same way I can do the medical also. So sum of medical. Yes, medical. So how quick it is for us to do the calculation, right? So now I don't want the city, I want a gender. Wait, just quick one step. We'll get a result. I want to do it based on the class. Just make the change column. Yes, I can get it the class. No, I want a city based class. So what is it? Just make city and then class. So it comes with the class. If you want to include the gender as well, just include it. So this is a way, this is a the beauty of this tool, like whatever the operations you required, it can be easily managed using all these things. So we can create n number of models and based on our requirement, and then we can refer the models anywhere in any of the models to get the results whatever we need. So say for example here I can create one model, so it will always report out based on the gender. I can create another model, it will report out based on the city, right? So I think now it is very easy for you to understand like how we can use this tool to store the data and do some kind of the analysis and then get the outcome whatever the way you want. And dynamically you can create everything, you can perform a lot of analysis, and then you can bring out the required results. Okay, so now we have seen I think most of the features here. So we have just a recap. So we have credentials where you will get. So once if you get, you will be able to log in. Once you log in, the client attributes, these are all by default, it will come unless otherwise somebody shares the model, then you can use the shared model to get those models, or it will be always a user model. And then you have the model attributes, like where you can put a source model, you can define the column names, you can pre-filter, sort order. And then we have the attribute rule attributes where you can define dimension measures and set the rules to manipulate the data for our analysis. And then we have the reference where it will, you can put the reference models, and we have, as per our example, we have referred two models, and then we use the reference spread to bring all the required data in one single page. And also you have the summarize option where you can perform some of the analytics here to sum up. So this is just a small examples, and lot of you can even in the Oracle SQL you can find lot of operations to perform many kind of analysis and also many kind of data driven approaches. It is possible. And we have another thing, so additional attributes, like where you can use the pivot columns, and these things we will be viewing it in the next phase. And also you have the visualization, like where you have all the charts, dashboards. You can build your dashboards, and you can build your charts, so that once the model is generated, also the model whatever you have generating, it can be written back in a particular sheet name, and then you can refer the sheet name to build all your dashboards and the graphs, so that once the user gives an input file, run the model, and they can directly view the outcome. And in between, yes, you have a set of process that can be defined in each model to perform the analytics. So this is how this tool works. And I hope this is very useful for you. And if you get a time, please do some hands-on. And then if any queries or any questions, please reach out to us. We are happy to help you, and we want all of you to learn how you can quickly build whatever is required for you for your learning as well as your career one. Thank you for watching. We'll catch up on your next session.